Can you all hear me? Okay, thank you. Confirming. Okay, I'm just checking if it's recording. Okay, it is. How is everybody doing? How are you all feeling now that you've met your lecturers, your other peers? How is everyone doing so far? You can type or chat, sorry, or unmute. Stress but good. Yeah, doing good. A bit stressed, but really enjoying everything so far. Having not studied in over a decade, it's very overwhelming, but good. But that's really great that you came back to study, and to do something to complete your studies. That's great. So now when you're done, you'll have your work experience and your degree. Um, yeah, it is quite stressful to study. Um, yeah, it's sorry, there's just a noise in the background. I'm so sorry. So sorry about that. Okay. Yeah, it is really stressful. Studying alone is something else, but you are here and that's the most important part. I see there's just a few more people typing and then I'll get started. You will find what works for you. And I'll get to that also. Um, I think Tammy was still typing. Do you want to finish? Okay. Okay, let me start. Um, okay, so this is the last student engagement program. Thank you so much for attending. Just going to put this on the side. Okay. So before I go into the actual session, I just want to touch on how to retrieve your module outline, your assessments, the pairs, and then communication with your lecturer. So for those who still don't know how to navigate or find these resources, you need to go to the Emeritus webpage, and then you click on My Emeritus. You log in. So I'm already logged in. And then you click on Academics. So this is to find your pairs. You click on Academics, and then Program Assessment Schedule. Okay. And then you click on Humanities because that is our faculty. And then you select the qualification that you are doing, but also just remember to select distance. So if you are doing Bachelor of Arts, distance, you select that one. And then you select the year that you are in, and then you'll find your pairs there, and then you just download the pairs. Okay, and then let me just go back. To retrieve student material, you just scroll down to the bottom to My Quick Links, and then Student Material. And then you need to type in the module code of the module that you're looking for with a W next to it. That's for distance. And then you click on the year 2026, term 1, because that's the term you are in. And then you'll find the resources there, and then you just download that as well. Okay. Oh, let me just go back. I'm just going to put the chat up over here. The pairs can change, yes. It can. I'm not sure if it will, but it can. I'll just put it there. Okay, and then with regards to, okay, I see Dr. Naz is typing, thank you. Then with regards to lecture communication. So please also just note that your lectures teach multiple modules across different year groups, and also at different campuses. So some of your lectures are not only online lecturers, they also teach contact at contact campuses. So the key information that we need is down below. I'll go through that now. But this causes delays if we don't have that because we need to figure out who you are and which class you are referring to. I also had this, and I had the exact same conversation with my students because I got an email and I had no idea what the student was talking about or which module because I teach across 3 modules. So when you are emailing your lecturer or communicating, please state your full name, your surname, your student number, the module name and the code. So maybe Psych 521, 5121, Group 2. And then in the subject line, state what this is about. So just something short, Psych 5121, Assignment 2 query. That's it. And then a brief specific question. So we don't need you to type out very long emails. Just state exactly what you need from your lecturer and any relevant information or attachment. Kelly, your hand is
Hi
up.
there. Hello.
Hi.
Thank you so much for getting this together. It is so helpful.
Okay.
I'd like to find out, it says that we have to put our group, being Bachelor of Arts. How do I know what group I'm in?
It should reflect on ARC. You should see it on ARC next to the name of the module. I also had a student who was not in my group emailing me, and then I found out later on that he was in a different group. So you should see it next to the module name on
Next to the
ARC.
module name. Okay, sorry, I'm actually looking at it right
Okay.
now. So would that be the GR01? Is that the group?
Yes, that's group 1
Ah,
that you are in. Correct.
okay, that is helpful. Thank you.
Okay, no problem. Okay, so that is it for communication. Please do take into consideration what I've just said with the lecturers teaching across multiple modules, different year groups, different um, campuses. Okay, and then getting into the presentation for today. I know few of you said that you were stressed out. So what is stress? It is your body and mind responding to pressure, overload, or competing demands. So it is not a weakness, it is a signal. It is your body reacting to these types of pressures. Okay, so I'm going to ask you, when is your stress likely to spike? When do you feel stressed out, or what makes um, you feel an increase in your stress levels? And you can unmute and talk or type in the chat box. So what makes your stress spike? Or when do you feel stressed out? Or what makes your stress levels increase? Deadlines, assignment due dates, anything else? Overwhelmed and don't know what to do, workload, anybody else? The fear of missing something. Oh, that's a good one. When there's more than my general workload and it doesn't feel like there's enough time to do it in, oh, I've been feeling like that this whole week, like there's not enough time in a day. There's not enough mental capacity for me to complete what I need to complete. Yeah, I feel the same. I was thinking about that today, actually. Okay, thank you so much. These are very, very valid points. So our stress does increase when we are, number one, working full time and studying part time, which is what most of you are doing, if not all of you. Some of us are parents. You parenting, you're managing deadlines, trying to meet your employer expectations and your academic expectations simultaneously. We experience financial pressure. You are sleep deprived, managing emotional labor at home, and facing unpredictable schedules. Okay, so the symptoms you need to be aware of, they take place physically, emotionally, and cognitively. So I'm sure some of you have also felt this. You get headaches, you feel fatigued, there's muscle tension, difficulty sleeping, because you're stressing about whatever you need to do or what's upcoming. Emotional symptoms, you become irritable or you feel overwhelmed. You feel guilt. Maybe you are putting time into one thing and not enough in another. Anxiety, and then cognitive. So poor concentration, forgetfulness, procrastination, negative self-talk. I can't do this. I say this one often, and I know I can, but I start off like that, like, oh my gosh, I can't do this, but I know I can. So these are the symptoms that you need to be aware of and take note of, because when we catch them early, we can do something about it. Okay, so this is for you to reflect, and something that I really want you to take with you, if anything, take this. So it's your self-awareness question. So ask yourself in the week, what is currently draining my energy? What is non-negotiable this week? And what can realistically wait? And I think me as well, I also need to think about this, because oftentimes when there's deadlines, I think that everything must just be done now, because I'm that person. If I'm given something, I need to get it done. I need to do it and tick that off my checklist, because life is also unpredictable. Anything can happen. Um, Additional work can maybe come my way. So awareness allows adjustment before burnout happens. So sometimes we also think that everything has to be done now, and it really doesn't. There are things that can realistically wait, and there are things that are non-negotiable that we need to maybe put a little bit more time and effort into. Okay. Um, so coping mechanisms, and I'm going to ask you what you also do, but these are few. So breathing or meditating. I always say this, but I really struggled with meditating because I can't, my brain just won't go quiet. But then I started to listen to music, and that calming music just really helped me actually go quiet. It eased my mind. Exercise is also important. Even if you just walk like around the block and just breathe different type of air than your own home and your own breath, which is not good. Just going outside and going for a walk, it changes it it changes the atmosphere and you will feel different. So I also force myself to do that, and it really has helped me. Self-care and rejuvenating. So you need to take care of yourself first before you can take care of anything else. You can't function in your job if you're not taking care of yourself. If you're all like me, academic lead, I'm the only academic lead in our faculty. If I haven't taken care of myself, there is no one else who can do my work, or it has to be put on the next person. Then mindful eating. So eating brain food is quite helpful, because when you eat fast food all the time or that oily, greasy food, you feel sluggish and then you don't want to work. And a lot of us, yes, we have cravings, we do eat it, but just be mindful of how much you're putting into your body. Then prioritizing your time. Like I said, everything doesn't have to happen right in that moment. You can adjust your schedule, and that's why a calendar needs to be used, so that you can map out what needs to be done and when. And then setting firm boundaries. Something I think most of us need to learn is also saying no. You don't have to say yes to everything, to every function, to everything that you are given, even work-wise. You can say, I'm at capacity at the moment. Please, can I do this at this point? It's up to you to set those boundaries, or you will burn out. And then avoiding procrastination. So getting things done. Don't wait until the last minute, because, like I said, life is unpredictable. Anything can happen. So remember, you can't do everything at once. You need to play around your day-to-day schedule. So your schedule is not going to align with the next person. You need to adjust your schedule to your lifestyle and what's going to work for you. I'm going to ask you what your coping mechanisms are, or if you have implemented any of these, or if you have used any of these and you tried it and you thought that it was really, really great. Keeping a calendar, that works for me also, because In my mind, everything is in there, and when I actually write it out or map it out, it's like my brain can be at ease. Having a clear workspace, that's also very important because your brain also can't work in mess. You can't function in mess. Um, going for quick walk, yeah, going for quick walks. That's really good. I used to work at a company where we did something called pomodoros. Pomodoros. Yeah, I think that's what it is called. So every 50 minutes we worked, we got to walk around for 10 minutes. Every day. Every day. Every 50 minutes you work, you walk, you get up from your desk and you walk for 10 minutes. You can take a partner or something and that really helped. It's getting that fresh air. It's 10 minutes. Um, okay. I'm gonna writing all study deadlines in my diary. Okay, I'm gonna move on. Okay, so in our faculty, Faculty of Humanities and Social Sciences, there's a lot of heavy reading load. There's a lot of long form writing tasks and critical thinking and interpretation. This is impacts you cognitively. It makes it's tiring work. Um, so there are methods or workflow strategies that you can use to kind of support that. And you don't need to use every single one of these. Some of them actually flow into one another. I'll get to all of them. But you can skim academic. You can set aside time to do your skimming. Maybe have a reading triage system, breaking down long essays and annotating your bibliography. So, how to skim academic text. If you have a journal article, maybe you're writing an essay or a research paper, you read the abstract first. Then you read your introduction and conclusion, you skim the headings, and then you read selectively. So you are not required to read every single word. So step one, you read the abstract. So the abstract will tell you what the article is about, the main argument, and the conclusion. And then you ask yourself, is this relevant to my essay question? Does the author support or challenge my argument? If it's not relevant, leave it, move on, and find something else. So don't spend 45 minutes reading the text. Then step two, you read the introduction and the conclusion. So the introduction contains the research question, the thesis or the argument, the key concepts, and then the conclusion summarizes your main findings, the final argument, and then the implications. Once you've done step one and two, you've done 60 to 7% of the work. You know what the text is about. You have summed up basically what this text is about, and you can take it from there. Okay, and then you can skim headings. So headings show the flow of the structure and how the author builds their case. So, for example, it may give historical context to whatever the study is about. The theoretical framework, there may be an analysis and then there may be critiques. So you know how that article flows. So when you think about it, you go back to it, you know what you're going to find in that article. And then read selectively. So only read closely the sections that's directly related to your essay topic. So let's say you needed information on the historical context of mental health in South Africa. You know you can find it in that article under that specific heading. Okay, and then you look at the key theoretical explanations and the evidence that you might cite. So now you're keeping that article. Hey, you haven't read the whole thing, but you know what it's about and you know where to find everything in that article. So that's skimming. Then your reading triage system. So you've got your essential, your recommended, and your supplemental. So essential, you must read fully. Recommended, you skim key sections, and then supplemental, you reference only if it's needed. So not all readings require equal effort. Your essential readings. These are the ones that's directly linked to your assignment or exam context. So say that paper was directly linked to it, then you would read it and you understand it fully. You read carefully, you take notes, and then you highlight arguments. Now you look at recommended readings. Maybe you want to expand on something that the author said. So now you go and pick out other perspectives, and this is done when you scheme. So you've already done the work with scheming, and now you're just taking those recommended pieces to build up your argument. So you skim the introduction and the conclusion, and then you extract 1 to 2 useful ideas to add to your argument. And then supplemental reading. So this is if you need deeper insight. Let's say you are critically analyzing a paper. that's when you go into supplemental readings because you are just building up your argument. Okay, so then you only consult these for essays. So this is going to prevent your overload and reduce your digital fatigue. Okay, and then breaking down long essays. Instead of writing the 3,000 words that you need to write, you can do it in short chunks. So you write out your thesis statement and then you outline your 3 or 4 main arguments. So do your whole brainstorm. Then you find 2 sources per argument and sources that you probably already found by doing your scheming and your reading triage. You found that information and now you write 1 paragraph at a time. Do you see how everything is just flowing? These are different methods that you can use, but they filter into one another. And then you annotate your bibliography. So all the information that you've gathered, you look at your main argument, the key quotes, how it links to your essay, and any critique. So either you print it out and you use a highlighter, main arguments in yellow, key quotes in green, how it links to your essay in pink, and then any critique in purple. Or you just copy and paste it into a Word document, which article this is, put down the title of the article, the author, and then you take out those chunks, you copy and paste it into Word, and then you highlight in those colors so that you know what matches what. You have a key, kind of like a key, what's it called? Yeah, a key. And then you have your colors that match certain certain things like the main argument, the quote, how it links to essay, and then critique. Um, and then remember, you do not need more pressure, more guilt, and more comparison. You need systems, you need structure, you need self-awareness, and you need self-compassion. It is okay if you do not complete something when you wanted to complete it. You can filter or not filter it in, but you can slot it in to a different time or at a different stage. You also need to be gentle with yourself. So keep building one structured week at a time. And then my final thought, you are not just earning a qualification, you are building discipline, critical thinking, resilience, and intellectual independence. And that growth will outlast any single assignment. And that is all from me. I wish you all the very best for the academic year from the Faculty of Humanities. Are there any questions or any comments or anything that you want me to maybe go over? Again, anything that you want to say? Has this helped in some way? Because for me personally, okay, I will go back. For me personally, I'm panicking. I'm also very stressed out, and I feel like there's so much that I um want to implement here as well. Like I feel like I'm preaching to myself while I'm talking here. I just want to pull this chat up quickly. So you want to go back to the key. Okay. So when you look at all of your articles, you look at the main argument, and then maybe highlight that in green. Then look at the key quotes. What is maybe like a line that you can take out? Then highlight that in yellow. And then how it links to your essay, maybe highlight that in pink or make a note. Then look at any critique. But now you do that on every single article that you read. Okay, you can't do this in your textbooks. Or maybe you can. Yes, if you've purchased the textbooks, highlight in it. I mean, I highlight in my Bible, so like whatever, just do it. Highlight in it if you're not going to um go and sell that, like yeah, do it. If that's what's going to help you. Does that make sense? And then you piece together. Now you're looking at all the greens, we're looking at all the yellows. And then that's how you build your paper. What would you say is too much study time per day when you only have certain days available for study? Sure. So that I feel would just depend on number one, your mental capacity that day, how much you can take in. If your brain is tired, you're not going to take in any information. You're just going to make your brain more tired. Um, I would say maybe study 45 minutes to an hour and take a break and then just go and revise that that information. I think really this question is a very difficult one because it's very dependent on what goes on in your day to day and how much time you have for that. You need to be prepared to study. So maybe don't do too much on those days that you need to sit and work. Um, yeah. Does that does that help a little bit? No, it's fine. It's fine. It's not that you are being difficult. It's just it is a very difficult question because I do understand it. Yeah, I was also once studying from textbooks and things. When you get to honors and masters, okay, yes, you do have to study content, but okay, when you get to master's level, it's just like thesis. So that's where I was at. So I also had to go back and think about what I did, but I was very bad. I used to study and I didn't move. I don't care if it's your birthday, I'm not going. I'm staying inside because I'm scared I'm going to fail. That was me, and I'm not that person anymore. So I also had to learn to set boundaries. It's okay to go out and enjoy and socialize. I have to work this weekend, so I would like to go out with friends this weekend, but then when I come back, I have to work. So you have to work around your schedule and do what is best for you. Are you going to study in the mornings? Is that going to work for you? Can you retain information easier first thing in the morning or in the afternoon or in the evening? So you have to take all of that into consideration. It's different from person to person. Um, there are no dumb questions. What are the non-academic support sessions? I think the SRSs are, you guys do the non-academic support sessions. If um Apelele, do you guys run those? No, the library sessions are separate, I think. Or is it the library? No, the library sessions I think are separate.
Genevieve, I don't know if you can
Yes,
hear me.
yes,
Oh,
I
yes.
can.
Yes.
Yes.
So the non-academic sessions, I think they will start from next week, but they will be once a week, over a couple of weeks. And that's just going over any non-academic support that the students may need. Some of the things that you went over, such as the pairs,
Okay.
or anything to do with their modules or ARC or technical issues, such things they can attend and will help them out.
Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it. Okay, is there anything else? Amy, are you fine? I'm sorry if I couldn't give you the best answer, but it really does differ from person to person. So you need to find what works for you.
No, thank you. I understand it's different for
Okay.
everybody. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much, everybody, for attending. Thank you, SRSs, for attending as well. If there's nothing else, I wish you guys everything of the best for the academic year. Make yourselves proud. And yeah, thank you so much, everyone. I'm going to stop recording and leave now. Have a lovely evening and a wonderful weekend as well. Bye.